He was born in a crowded home where books were rare, money was scarce, and the future seemed already written. He ran away at 17 with no fortune, no plan, and no reason to believe he would ever matter. Yet this boy, this forgotten child of a candle maker, would one day reshape the world. Benjamin Franklin became a writer who changed public opinion, an inventor who rewired science, a diplomat who secured the birth of a nation, and a philosopher whose ideas outlived empires. But behind his brilliant mind, behind the experiments, the inventions, the negotiations, there was something else, something he hid, something discovered centuries after his death, buried beneath the floorboards of his old London home. A secret so disturbing, so shocking, that historians still struggle to explain it. Stay with me until the end. Because Benjamin Franklin didn't just transform the world. He left behind a mystery that rewrites everything we thought we knew about him. Nobody expected greatness from Benjamin Franklin. He was the 15th of 17 children, a number so large that individuality dissolved into daily survival. His father's candle shop was hot, cramped, and filled with the constant smell of melting tallow. The family struggled. There was never enough money, never enough time, never enough space. Franklin's formal education lasted barely 2 years. In a society where wealth and status determined opportunity, he was destined to remain invisible. But inside this small boy, in this small shop, something extraordinary was forming. A hunger, a curiosity so fierce it refused to be contained. Franklin read everything he could touch: sermons, travel stories, scientific notes, ancient mythology, philosophy, mathematics, anything that could answer the questions in his mind. While other children dreamed of freedom or games, Benjamin dreamed of knowledge. He began to believe that no matter how poor he was, no matter how the world saw him, the mind could be a doorway to something greater. At 17, Franklin made a decision that defined his entire life. He ran away. The journey was dangerous, and the world beyond Boston was unforgiving. He boarded ships by lying about his age. He slept in strange warehouses, begged for bread, walked miles across muddy roads. Most young men in his position would have returned home within days. Franklin kept walking. When he reached Philadelphia, he was covered in dust, his clothes were torn, his pockets empty. People stared as he marched through the streets holding 3 loaves of bread, a moment he later described with humor, but which revealed the raw reality of his life. He had nothing, yet this nobody would soon build a career from scratch. He would rebuild himself, reshape his identity, and turn his hunger into a weapon. In Philadelphia, Franklin discovered the power of words. He worked as a printer, setting type, mixing ink, carving letters. But at night, he wrote in secret. He crafted essays filled with humor, wit, and insight. He challenged authority, criticized corruption, and mocked hypocrisy with the precision of a surgeon. But he never signed his name. He invented characters, personas, even fake identities, because he knew that truth is often more powerful when it hides behind a mask. His letters went viral in the colonial world. People quoted them, debated them, memorized them. Newspapers published them eagerly. And slowly, quietly, silently, a teenage runaway became the voice of a city, and soon a nation. Franklin's mind refused to rest. It wandered, explored, experimented, questioned. He studied heat, light, sound, currents, lenses, electricity. He sketched new tools and improved old ones. He invented bifocal glasses, the Franklin stove, new printing technologies, the musical glass harmonica, and eventually the lightning rod. Franklin understood something profound. Inventions should serve people, not profit. He refused to patent any of them. He believed knowledge belonged to everyone. The story is legendary, but its impact is real. During a storm, Franklin flew a kite with a metal key attached. Not to summon lightning, but to understand it. To prove that the terrifying bolts in the sky were the same mysterious electrical forces he observed in the laboratory. It was dangerous. It was reckless. It was brilliant. And it changed science forever. As Franklin grew older, he became the center of Philadelphia's intellectual world. He founded the first public library, the first fire department, the first subscription-based university, the first hospital. He believed that a nation was not built by kings or soldiers, but by ordinary people working together. In London, Franklin tried everything to prevent war. He argued for compromise, for fairness, for peace. But British officials dismissed him, mocked him, humiliated him. This humiliation hardened him. It changed him. It transformed a peaceful diplomat into a revolutionary. In Philadelphia, Franklin stood beside Jefferson and Adams as they crafted the Declaration of Independence. He understood the risk better than anyone. Signing the document meant death if the revolution failed. But Franklin signed with steady hands. Freedom, he believed, was worth everything. In France, Franklin became an instant legend. He charmed nobles, philosophers, and even the royal court. His intelligence and simplicity made him iconic. It was Franklin who convinced France to support America, a decision that changed the course of the war. In 1998, renovations began in Franklin's old London home. Workers expected dust, old furniture, maybe forgotten letters. They did not expect a grave. Buried beneath the floorboards, investigators found over 200 bones, belonging to at least 15 people, including children. Cut marks, drill holes, signs of dissection. Forensic analysis dated them to Franklin's lifetime. Was Franklin involved? Complicit? Protective? Nothing is certain. Most historians believe he allowed secret anatomical research in his home, illegal in England at the time, protecting scientists who wanted to understand the human body. Others believe something darker. We may never know. But one thing is clear. Benjamin Franklin's life was far more complex, far more mysterious, and far more human than the legend suggests. Franklin was a writer, an inventor, a revolutionary, a diplomat, and a philosopher. But he was also a man filled with secrets, a man whose brilliance changed the world, and whose mysteries remain buried in the shadows of history. Thank you for watching. If this story fascinated you, like, comment who you want next, and subscribe for more cinematic documentaries.